Pablo Escobar was born in Rio Negro, Colombia in 1949. His father was a farmer, and his mother was a schoolteacher. In 1976, a 27-year-old Pablo Escobar married Maria Victoria Henao Vallejo, who was then just 15. While the Escobar family was in hiding, Pablo's daughter, Manuela, got sick. Pablo Escobar's net worth was $37 billion. Escobar spent around $2,500 a month on rubber bands used to hold his money. Escobar made the Forbes billionaires list of the world's richest people 7 years in a row beginning in 1987 and peaked at number 7 in 1989. The Medellin cartel dominated the cocaine industry during its peak. At this point, Pablo Escobar earned approximately $420 million weekly. This made him one of the richest and most powerful people across the globe. Pablo Escobar was many things, but mostly the cocaine king, head of the notorious Medellin cartel from Colombia. He was also a brutal killer, the authorities' worst enemy, and the richest drug lord in the 1980s, all while praised by the poor people, gaining the Robin Hood nickname. Therefore, Pablo Escobar was an intriguing person, loved by the masses, and a major headache to law officers even beyond Colombian borders. His rise and fall have been portrayed in many movies and TV shows, including Narcos by Netflix, so we highly recommend watching it. Let's take a closer look at the top 10 facts about Pablo Escobar's exciting life. Please subscribe to our channel Rugged Capitalist, like, share, comment, and hit the press bell icon button for more, new, and quick notifications. Number 10. Cocaine trafficking and money. Pablo Escobar started drug trafficking in the 1970s, eventually smuggling over 15 tons of cocaine daily into the United States. This means he earned over $420 million a week, as his total net worth was estimated at over $30 billion. Allegedly, he stashed money all over Colombia, putting it on walls, in the fields, in graves, you name it. However, some of the cash has been found over the years, yet much of it remains hidden to this day. The fun fact is that large amounts of his capital have been eaten by rats or ruined by flood or fire. Yet, he didn't care, as he had a lot of it. Number 9. Smuggling operations. At an early age, Escobar decided to be successful. First, he started as a minor criminal and became a marijuana smuggler. After developing roots for his business, Pablo soon realized that cocaine is the future. So like every great entrepreneur, he seized the opportunity and started to smuggle cocaine. Soon he had all the network covered using the small planes to ship the drugs into the USA. First, they started with 1 aircraft, later expanding to 15 bigger airplanes and 6 helicopters. As the planes were on DEA's radars, they began to drop the cargo from the aircraft in international waters using speedboats and subs to smuggle it further to the USA. Moreover, he bought a Learjet just to fly his money to Colombia. Number 8. Loving father. Although his reputation preceded him in all life segments, privately, he was a devoted son and a father of 2, having a son and a daughter. Hence, many say he was a loving husband, while others disagree as he had mistresses. Nevertheless, he did his best to keep his family safe and protected while spoiling them with a lavish lifestyle. During their hideout in the jungle, he allegedly made a fire using $2 million to heat his daughter, who had a fever. Number 7. Properties. Pablo had a lot of money, and he knew how to spend it. Although he invested a lot of it as bribing the police and smuggling operations, he had a passion for material stuff. Yes, he owned many planes, but they were used for business. Still, he bought cars for himself, as he enjoyed them so much. Moreover, he was a bit extravagant and owned several residences and safe houses. Among them, the largest property was Hacienda Napoles, just 90 miles from Medellin. It is situated approximately 150 kilometers east of Medellin. It was spread over an enormous 7,000 acre of land. This was a home for him and his family, so it's not strange that he even had a ZOO. Also, he owned a Caribbean retreat called Isla Grande, the astonishing complex abandoned after his death and turned to ruins. Number 6. Loved by the people. Although Escobar undoubtedly was a criminal and a murderer personally responsible for thousands of deaths, he was loved by people. He represented a Robin Hood-like figure, sharing his fortune with the poor ones. Pablo built hospitals, schools, and housing projects for the underprivileged. Moreover, he was a sports fan, so he built soccer courts and sponsored children's soccer teams. Furthermore, he supported Medellin's soccer team Atlético Nacional, who won the Copa Libertadores, South America's most prestigious tournament. One of his famous friends was legendary goalie René Higuita, who later spent months in jail because of it. Therefore, he was well liked by the people, as they often helped him when he was running from the law. After his death, more than 25,000 people came to his funeral. Number 5. Politics. Pablo Escobar entered politics at some point, as he had modest wishes to become the president of Colombia. However, he started by being elected to Congress in 1982 as an alternate member. Still, one brave man, Rodrigo Lara Bonilla, the justice minister, publicly accused him of drug trafficking. Pablo had to step down, but his retaliation was severe as he ordered the assassination of Bonilla. Later on, during the election in 1989, candidate Luis Galán promised to extradite Pablo Escobar after he was elected. Since Pablo didn't like that statement, he offered $500,000 for the hit. Galán was killed in front of 10,000 people while he made a speech. Number 4. Time in jail. When Pablo Escobar went to prison, he built one according to his needs. Yet, his basic requirements were everything but modest. In 1991, Pablo negotiated with Colombian authorities to surrender himself for a shorter sentence. However, Escobar had his conditions, as he created La Catedral, the prison for serving his punishment. Escobar built his jail on top of the hill so he could watch over his family. He had a soccer pitch, a jacuzzi, a waterfall, a luxurious suite, a telephone, a fax, and much more. Moreover, the guards were handpicked by Pablo. Number 3. Escape. When the authorities decided to transfer him to the actual prison, he didn't like that, so he escaped. During his time served in La Catedral prison, Pablo got the information that the public was aware of his jail mockery. Hence, authorities decided to move him to a regular, highly guarded prison, but Escobar didn't like that and fled. Chase for Escobar lasted for 16 months, and the USA sent their workforce to help capture the fugitive. Among the officers were DEA agents Steve Murphy and Javier F. Pena, who were on Escobar's case from the start. Pena and Murphy were on Pablo's radar as well, as he put the reward of $300,000 for their assassination. Interestingly, even the future U.S. President Joe Biden had a role in the war against Escobar. Subscribe our channel Rugged Capitalist for more interesting, entertaining, and informative videos. Number 2. Murders and massacres. Despite the fact that he was one of the wealthiest people in history, he was a criminal. His wealth had come from heinous crimes and the biggest drug business in the world. Under his drug reign, Colombia came to be called the murder capital of the world. The country witnessed a total of 25,100 violent deaths in 1991 and 27,100 in 1992. Pablo Escobar followed a plata o plomo way of solving his problems, meaning silver, bribes, or lead, bullets. He was responsible for the deaths of as many as 4,000 individuals, including numerous police officers, judges, government officials, and journalists. The most famous tale of an example of atrocious murders by Pablo and his cartel is that in 1989, the cartel was blamed for detonating a bomb on a plane on the basis of the information that an alleged informant was traveling in it. It resulted in the deaths of over 100 people. Number 1. Death. He died as he lived, in a blasé of guns. After a long time of hiding, Escobar died in a shootout with the authorities on December 2, 1993, at age 44. The electronic surveillance team caught Pablo's cell phone call and tracked it to Medellin's middle-class neighborhood. As the agents raided the house, Escobar and his bodyguard tried to escape over the roofs. They were caught in a crossfire with the officer, so both ended up dead. However, Pablo was shot in the leg and chest, while it was never determined who fired the fatal gunshot through the ear. Hence, there were rumors that the bullet to the head was an execution, yet some claimed that Pablo committed suicide. Nevertheless, his death brought joy to some people, but Medellin's poor residents mourned him, as he was a hero to them. What happened with Pablo's family? After Pablo died in 1993, his family got into a legal tussle with the Colombian government regarding the property. The government won and the whole property was confiscated. Even Pablo's burned private car collection was confiscated by the government. By November 2006, ownership of the whole property had passed to the Colombian government and it was valued at roughly $2.23 million. Many of the private buildings were demolished and used for other purposes. While many rich men boast of huge car collections, they are little to no match for Pablo Escobar. In the late 1980s, the government seized some of Escobar's enormous fleet. The seized fleet included 142 planes, 20 helicopters, 32 yachts, and 141 homes and offices. And this is not even near to the numbers that the man owned. In addition to huge numbers of cars, planes, choppers, trucks, and boats, it also included 2 submarines. The submarines were used for drug smuggling. What was your favorite fact about the life of Escobar? Please write to us in the comment section, as we would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching and supporting.